Hi, welcome in, and this is the AQA of my life, and today I'll be talking to you about should we kick Grigg and Graham out of the team, and plus invest in a new striker, plus Parky is in trouble. Now, the problem is at Sunderland is Graham and Grigg, when Grigg came into the team, the back end of last season, when he came from Wigan for 3 million, everybody thought that he would be the striker of Sunderland. He would get 25 goals in a season, and Grigg has leveled everyone's. He's drawn everyone. I mean, at the beginning of the season, Grigg came in from Wigan, and all of us thought, "Wow, this can be what a signing this is. What a signing! What a signing this is! What a striker we have!" And the fans expected so much from him, and unfortunately, he has not produced the goods at Sunderland, and he is just awful in front of goal. He's been for Sunderland, maybe at Wigan. Grigg for Wigan, he was brilliant that season. When I watched him play for Wigan, he was scoring goals every week. He was bagging in goals from 20 yards out. But at Sunderland, he kind of put that ball in the back of the net. And I'm sorry, but Grigg, I think his time at Sunderland is over. And the same for Danny Graham. I mean, Danny Graham came in on loan from Blackburn Rovers. He's been at Sunderland already, Danny Graham. He's already been at Sunderland before when we played in the Premier League, and Danny Graham was awful. We're playing the Premier League as well. And I don't know why Sunderland decided to bring him in on loan. I don't know why Sunderland decided to bring Danny Graham back in on loan from Blackburn Rovers. Why did he bring him in again? Why? We need a striker that can score goals. And he's a young striker that he can score goals week in, week out, and great as well. And at the minute, the problem is at Sunderland at the minute is Grigg and Danny Graham cannot score a goal. Danny Graham and Grigg cannot score a goal for their life. They're in front of goal, Grigg, today. He was in front of goal 5 times in that 6-yard box. Did he put it in the back of the net? No. Where did it go? Over the bar. And where else did it go? It went wide of the goal. He has been shocking, Will Grigg. I mean, today and the rest of the season and the back end of last year, he has been awful. Danny Graham's exactly the same. Danny Graham, he cannot score goals. We haven't got Sunderland have got a big problem right now. We're not scoring enough goals. We haven't got creativity up front to create goals and score goals. We need that player that can score goals week in, week out and create goals. And that's what we need the January transfer window. We need to invest in a striker, and we need to, because I'm sorry, but Grigg is diabolical since he's come to Sunderland. Now, I don't know whether it's a style of play Sunderland play. I don't know, but he's been diabolical. Danny Graham, he came in this season on loan for Blackburn. In Blackburn, he was good in the Championship. He was scoring goals most often for Blackburn. But he's come to Sunderland again on loan, and he's been absolutely awful. He hasn't even scored a goal for Sunderland yet. He didn't score a goal in pre-season. He hasn't bagged a goal this season in the league. Will Grigg has scored in pre-season, but he hasn't in the league. And Grigg has not improved from last year. And I'm sorry, but the time's over for Grigg. The time's over for Grigg. I'm sorry, but it is. Danny Graham, he has to go. We have to let Grigg. I think his time over. I think Will Grigg's time at Sunderland is over by far. Danny Graham, he can leave. We need a striker because Charlie White can. Yes, he holds up the ball really well. He can score goals. He's good with his head. But we need another striker to come in the January transfer window to be up top with Charlie White, because today Phil Parkins had played Will Grigg and White up top. And I thought, yes, that might be good, playing White and Grigg up top. You know, White's got a bit of help up top with him. But did that help? Not one bit did that help. White was brilliant today, held up the ball, passed it to Grigg to create chances for Grigg, but Grigg didn't put them in the back of the net. If White had a better if he had a better striker partnership, White, and he passed the ball to a better striker, he would finish them. If we had a striker that was playing with Charlie White, and Charlie White had a striker that was banging for him that can score goals, then it'll be all right, because he could pass to him and he will score a goal. But Will Grigg cannot do that. Will Grigg, I'm sorry, he is over. His time at Sunderland is well and truly over, and we need to get a new striker in the January. We need to. I don't want any of this like 35-year-old coming into Sunderland, a striker. He's 35 years old. We don't need that. We need a striker that's long term, that is going to stay at this club and get us back in the Championship and stay and try back get us up into the Premier League. We don't want a striker that's just here for a season like Danny Graham is. We need to have a striker that's young, that can score goals, and who can create goals as well. And he has to be young. There's no good bringing in a striker that's 35 years old. There's no good, because he's not going to last. He's not going to last. Danny Graham's ancient now. Ain't no disrespect to him. He has been around for a long, long time, and there's no chance that Danny Graham is going to be at Sunderland for another 5 years' time, because he's going to retire. And Will Grigg, he will not last another month at Sunderland. If I was the manager, he will be gone. If I was the manager, if I was Phil Parkinson and I saw how Grigg played today and all those chances he missed, I would let him go. I would sack him. I would just let him go, leave. Because if I'm standing on the sideline watching Sunderland play and watching Will Grigg miss those chances, and to prevent us getting beat at the Stadium of Light, I would just sack him. I would just let him go, because, yes, Will Grigg, 3 million striker on that pitch, and he's been useless. Cameron Jerome for MK Dons, experienced, was brilliant at Norwich. He's 35 years old, but he can still score goals. And he scored an absolute bang goal for MK Dons today, because you know what? Cameron Jerome can still score goals. And he didn't cost that much for MK Dons to sign him. It was a free as well. And we had to invest 3 million to sign Will Grigg. And we've wasted 3 million on a crap player. Honestly, he is crap. He's the worst striker I've seen in the history of Sunderland. He is absolutely woeful. So I think both Grigg and Graham should leave, because they're useless, and we need to invest in a new striker in January. We need someone that can score goals and create goals. We need someone that can score goals and put it in the back of the net, because we've not scored enough goals this season. We're not scoring enough goals, and it's not coming from our strikers, the goals. It's coming from Chris Maguire, Ledbetter. It's coming from Bailey White. It's not coming from the strikers. It's coming from midfielders, defenders. It's not coming from the strikers. Yes, White scored 5 goals this season, but no one else has scored. Grigg hasn't scored a goal, and Danny Graham hasn't scored a goal. So if White gets injured this season, who can replace? Because we can't score a goal, and Danny Graham can't score a goal. So there's no chance that Sun's going to get promoted this season. There's absolutely no chance that Sun are going to get promoted this season. There's no chance. If we got strikers that are out of form, and Grigg's been out of form for a very, very long time. He's never been in form at Sunderland. He's always been out of form. And Danny Graham he's never been in form since he come to Sunderland. So we've got no hope of getting promotion if we haven't got a striker that's in form that can score goals. Hull City, do you know why Hull City and Peterborough and Portsmouth are all at that end of the table? Because they've got strikers that can score goals. Malik Willis for Hull City, John Marcus for Portsmouth. Peterborough, they've got Sariki Dembele, who's scoring goals for Peterborough. Who have Sunderland got? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. Yes, they got Charlie Wyke, but he doesn't score goals every week. And we've got 2 strikers sitting on the bench, Will Grigg and Danny Graham, getting paid. How much money are they getting paid for sitting on the bench? How much are they getting paid for not scoring a goal? How much are they getting paid for not doing their job? How much? Grigg's getting paid today for missing chances and for having a poor game. And guess what? He's still getting paid enough money to have a Lambo, to have a nice house, to have ETC. He doesn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve that, Will Grigg. No, White does, because he actually tries. Will Grigg is lazy. He is lazy, Will Grigg. He walks around the pitch. He strolls around the pitch. He can't be bothered. And when he gets his chance, he fluffs his lines. So, Will Grigg, please don't play Will Grigg anymore. Please don't play Will Grigg anymore. Please. I don't want to see him on that pitch ever again. And I mean it. I don't want to see Will Grigg playing for Sunderland ever again. So Danny Graham, I don't want to see both of them. I don't want to see both of them playing for Sunderland again. I really don't. And guess what Phil Potts should do? I think Gooch should play up front with Sunderland. I think Gooch would be a good replacement for Danny Graham, Will Grigg, and I think he should put Gooch up front with Wyke, and I think that would be a perfect striker force to put Gooch and Wyke up front. Not Will Grigg anymore, not Danny Graham. I think he should put Gooch and Wyke up front. That's what I think he should do. But Phil Parkinson is under pressure, as you know, and people want him out. There's 96% people that want him out of the club, and I do as well, to be honest. I want Parky out. I think he's the wrong man. I know I was defending him in the AFL Trophy and the week after, but I'm not defending him anymore. I'm not defending him because we've started League One the worst than any other season in League One. We've started the worst. So I want Parky out. I think he's the wrong man now. Get Gary Monk in, get Philip Cocu in, or someone like that. Gary Monk will be an excellent replacement for Phil Parkinson. We should get Gary Monk in because he's a brilliant manager, a young manager, and he's managed different clubs in the Premier League Championship. Get rid of Phil Parkinson, bring Gary Monk in, and Sunderland will be halfway to improving. But Sunderland won't be improving yet if we don't get our strikers sorted out. Sunderland will not improve. Sunderland will not improve if we don't sort out our strikers. If we don't bring a new striker in the January transfer window, Sunderland will not have improved this season. Right. So yes, we need to invest in a new striker. As I said that many times over the previous times I've been on here, I said we need to invest in a new striker now. And I mean now. Don't wait several months' time until League One's over and we stay in League One for another season. We need to get these out now. Get Will Grigg out, get Danny Graham out, and get a new striker in so we can push up for promotion. Don't wait 7-8 months' time where we're still in the exact same position where we are now. Don't do that, because if Sunderland are in the same position as they're in now, at the coming end of the season, we'll be not getting promoted to League One. Because if you're getting promoted to League One, first you need good performances from your team, which you're not seeing. Playing really good football, which we're not seeing. Having strikers that scoring goals week in, week out, we're not seeing. Scoring 2+ goals, we're not seeing. So we need to improve massively before we're at this level. We're at this level right now. We need to be up there, but that's going to take a long time before we're there, unless we improve the squad and get a new manager and get new strikers. That's our level we're at now. That's the level we're at now. We need to be there. We need to be at that level. And I'm sorry, but Phil Parkinson is not the right man. Phil Parkinson doesn't even like Will Grigg. He even said that in his press conference. Phil Parkinson does not like Will Grigg. So why is he playing him then? So why is he playing him up front with Wyke? Why? So Phil Parkinson said a couple of weeks ago, I don't like Grigg. I don't like him. But Will Grigg said he wants his opportunity. He's trained hard in lockdown. He's lost weight and he wants to come back and he wants to help Sunderland get promoted this season. Will he not? Will Grigg will not get us promoted this season. He cannot score from bloody 2 yards. So if he thinks he's going to get us promoted, then start scoring from 2 yards, Will Grigg. That's what I say. That's what I say. Will Grigg said he wants to get Sunderland promoted this season. He won't, because Will Grigg can't even score from 2 yards. So he won't get us promoted this season. That is for sure. But yes, so Phil Parkinson gave him a chance. And he didn't take his chance, Will Grigg. He could have scored 3 goals today, Will Grigg. He missed from 2 yards a number of times in that 6-yard box. He could have had about 2 hat-tricks, but he missed. The service was excellent today from Sunderland. The service was excellent to Will Grigg. It's just about the service, great, but we need to have strikers that will score goals from the service, from either Gooch on the right or Denver Hume on the left. And if they put balls in the box, great service. We need a striker that can bang goals in the back of the net, because at the minute that's not what's happening. Great service from the lads, no question about the service today. It's the strikers that can't score goals. Will Grigg has let us down. Will Grigg has let us down completely, and I'm sorry, but Will Grigg has to go. Will Grigg has to go now. And I keep saying it, but we have to invest in a new striker. Phil Parkinson is in trouble. He is in deep trouble from leaving Sunderland, from Exton Sunderland. And I think Phil Parkinson, after losing today against MK Dons, I think it's the end of the road for Parkinson. That's my opinion. So Parky is in trouble. So Parkinson is in trouble. I think we need to replace him quickly rather than later. I think Gary Monk will be a very good manager to replace him. Very experienced, a young manager. He's been there with the Championship clubs, Premier League clubs. Yes, so bring Gary Monk in and sack Phil Parkinson, and that's what needs to happen. And so that's what I'm done. And so that's what I'm done now. So so I'll see you in a bit. Thank you for coming on. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you for coming on. Any comments you want to put down, anything, put them down, and I'll answer on my next live. But yes, I'll see you all in a bit.